YouTube family, what's good, what's good? Hey, let's get right into it. I wanted to share with y'all something that I've been looking at and some stuff that's been weighing heavy on my dang mind. So maybe you guys could help me out, right? Maybe you guys could help me to better understand what I'm thinking about and the composition of this world. Let's look at the first video. So this first video is going to talk about a gentleman, not even going to mention his name, I'll let them do the rest. And we'll talk about it.
On this day in space, on December 30th, 1930, the Earth's curvature was photographed for the first time. This photo was taken by Lieutenant Colonel Albert William Stevens, who was an officer in the U.S. Army Corps and an aerial photographer.
Nice.
He also happened to be a balloonist, and he once broke a world record for a high-altitude balloon flight.
Okay, so if you're giving scientific details of what this man did, why don't you include some numbers, right? Numbers are pretty important. Any kind of number, a phone number, I don't care how much he weighs, right? But one of the things that we need, the altitude. All right, he broke a record. What was the previous record? Who set the previous record, right? What altitude did he climb to? Let's continue.
Stevens took this photo while flying an airplane over South America. He used infrared-sensitive film that worked well for long-distance aerial shots in which the subject was obscured by things like haze. The mountains he was photographing were more than 300 miles away, and he couldn't see them with his own eyes, but his camera was sensitive enough. The photo was the first visual proof that our planet is in fact round. And that's what happened on this day in space.
Wait a minute. So the mountains were over 300 miles away. I wonder how tall those mountains were. So you guys remember the mountains at 129 miles from where we were, Whidbey Island. They reached an elevation, the mountains originally reached an elevation of 10,700 feet, right? At 129 miles, right? There's 11,000 feet of curvature that you're gonna miss. So I wonder at 300 miles, how he could have seen those if the world was round, right? At 8 inches per mile squared, right? It's something that they didn't mention, but that's something in the previous video that I made today. Let's continue. Okay, so she's done. I like that smug look on her face. So right here, we're gonna have Neil deGrasse Tyson giving his best, Oscar nomination performance, Oscar-worthy performance in front of a crowd, drawing laughter and cheers about a gentleman that performed the Red Bull jump. Check it out.
Felix Baumgartner, he would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump.
Now, mind you guys, Felix Baumgartner, when he jumped, he was being coached by a gentleman by the name of Joe Kittinger. If you don't know, check it out, look it up. I'll probably put it in the description box. Joe Kittinger was a U.S. Air Force test pilot, also was a pilot. He was in the Nam War. He got shot down, became a POW. He came back. He's still with us to this day. The gentleman is in his 90s. Joe Kittinger used to do these jumps for breakfast. This dude climbed at elevations to the point to where one time he had a leak in his suit. It got in his hand and it jacked his hand up. Let's continue with this. It made his hand grow to the size of a baseball mitt. Let's continue.
Now, I don't. It's fine. He wants to. I don't have a problem if he does it, but the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, "Wow, he's in space. Look at that." No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball.
You don't say. So you have to be far in order to see the curvature, right? Okay. All right. Well, that's Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's what he says. So I take it Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong. Are any of these folks that swear by the globe, are they going to tell him he's wrong? Because they love telling us we're stupid and we're wrong, and we know nothing, right? We're new kids on the block. We know absolutely nothing. We're primitive. We belong in the Stone Age. Let's continue.
You just don't. That stuff is flat. And then I showed examples of wide-angle lenses, curving, horizontal. I tweeted that.
You did.
But I don't want to be a spoiled, curmudgeon or anything. I just wanted to put, there's so much to actually be impressed with in the universe. I don't want you to be distracted by things that are not.
On this day.
Okay. All right. We got another one, another hot one for you, folks. Coming right up. All right, family, here's another one. And this is the Go Fast rocket. This thing launched, and this was launched by a bunch of amateur rocket folks, right? It's for example, it would be like me strapping a fucking camera, to the outside of a rocket and just shooting that joker right up into the sky. But it has enough fuel to do this. Watch and look and learn. Look, check it out. Okay, I think you guys get the point. This thing is climbing in altitude. Kerplunk. So, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament, what? Showeth his handiwork. Psalms, I think 19:1 or 19:2. And it's also on Werner von Braun's tombstone. Let's continue. So this thing hit something. This rocket hit something. Now it released its booster. Now it's tumbling in the sky. It hit something, right? Still Earth beneath this rocket. Curved, flat, moon, flat, concavity. That's what a rocket being launched with the camera on the outside live looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like. And this is one thing that everybody that's been skeptical of NASA, this is something that we've all been asking NASA to do. Provide a mother jumping camera on the outside of the mother jumping rocket. That's all you need to do. If these amateurs can do it, why can't you do it? Why? You know why they can't do it? You know what? I ain't even going to get into all that. Just watch the thing, man. The Go Fast rocket. Check it out. It's tumbling still. That's the sun, or the apparent sun. Curve, 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 curve. I have no idea what that black thing was down there. Now that's another launch of the Go Fast rocket on another side, but let's continue. YouTube family, holy shit. Yo, this dude Joe Kittinger that I was talking about, the pilot, right? The Air Force dude, let's look at him, right? Yo, he just died a couple of weeks ago. Holy smokes. We're gonna have to talk about him, family. We're gonna have to talk about him. Oh my goodness. He just died. I didn't even know that. Right? So he served in the Air Force. This is him, right? From 50 to 78, 28 years, almost 30 years. He was a fighter pilot, right? Command pilot status, retired as a colonel. Full bird. Biggest height, 102,800 feet. So he broke that other dude's record, right? They didn't even talk about how high he climbed, which I find fishy. Either way, that's him. The dude just died. I was just saying he was alive still. Meanwhile, the man's 6 feet under. Well, you know, he lived a full life, man. 94 years old. Hey, you can't beat that with a bat, man. That dude lived a full life, man. You know? Joe Kittinger. He participated in Project Man High, Project Excelsior. Even Excelsior means even higher, right? Higher than before. Take it up. Fighter pilot during Nam. Kittinger was shot down. Jet fighter, he was later shot down. As well, supplicants was spending 11 months as a POW. A lot of times these POWs, man, they live a long life, right? John McCain was a POW. He happened to live well into his 80s, I think. Red Bull Stratosphere jump, right? 2012 with Felix Baumgartner. There it is. Free fall jump. Baumgartner's record would be broken 2 years later by, I didn't even know that, by Alan Eustace. So we learned a couple of things, YouTube, right? We learned Joe Kittinger died a couple of weeks ago, which I was none the wiser to. We also learned that Felix Baumgartner's record was broken by Alan Eustace. That I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. Let's see. What was Alan Eustace's joint? Alan Eustace. As an American computer scientist, served as a senior vice president, blah, 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 blah. Jump was from, wow, 135,000 feet. Look at that. An altitude. Look at that altitude. 41K. My God. That's more than like 11 miles. That's more than 11 miles. So that's more than the 1932 jump also by Auguste Piccard. Auguste Piccard, if you guys don't know, he did his jump. He flew in a balloon that reached the height of like 10.5 miles, roughly. Computer scientist. Look at the dude, man. Looking like Bob Lazar. YouTube family, I find this all strange. Tell me what you think. I'm out. All right, YouTube, check this out, man. Yo, I'm not out. What I meant to say was, who's telling the truth? Who the hell is telling the truth? Is it Neil deGrasse Tyson? Is it these scientists? Yo, all these people that believe in the globe so much, you could believe in whatever you want to believe in. We just want to know who is telling the truth. Neil deGrasse Tyson apparently is saying that it's flat from whichever height, which is the height that Felix Baumgartner jumped from. So what, is it curved now from Alan Eustace's jump? Because they tried to say that the first dude in the first clip that I showed, his joint showed that he was jumping out and the earth was curved. So now, because Felix Baumgartner jumped out years later, like 80 years later, that now the earth is flat from 2 millimeters, right, above the ball, it don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense. And you know what? These globe people will not go against Neil deGrasse Tyson to his face and tell him that he's wrong or this or that. But instead, what they're going to do is claim that every person that believes in the earth being flat or not a ball is full of shit, is stupid, is from the Stone Age, is stuck in the past, you name it. Everything but a child of God is what a flat earther is. So y'all tell me where I'm wrong. For all you globe folks, yo, correct me. If I'm stupid, call me stupid. If I'm right, yo, it's okay. It's okay to say not necessarily even that I'm right, but that you're wrong. Let's talk about it.